everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those not in the know or confused about why you're seeing manga content on this channel, as it has been over 3 years since my last manga video here, I am continuing on with AOT's manga after the anime because of spoiler reasons. So for the next 8 to 10 weeks, we will be talking about 2 chapters of the AOT manga until it finishes its run. They will be the same format as my Wednesday Attack on Titan videos. For anime-only viewers, this will contain spoilers for Final Season Part 2, so if you're not ready for that, then click off. As well, these videos will feature predominantly anime images and clips with little manga panels, as Japanese companies crack down very hard on manga panels and will give out strikes willingly. I hope to be able to engage with you guys in a new and interesting way through these manga videos and create good content that you all will find interesting. So with that out of the way, let's get into AOT chapters 117 to 118. So first off, with these chapters, holy crap, these were freaking awesome, and boy does it feel good to be right. In previous videos I talked about how Gabi's development is leading to a certain specific moment, and we got that moment. Plus, it seems I was also right in saying the Survey Corps always bounce back. Pieck seems somewhat inconvenienced as well by losing her hand, and guys, I'm just so excited. These chapters were awesome. Let's get into it. With the battleground of Shiganshina being the set location, I think I mispronounced that still. The place where all of this started, Marley arrives prepared for a war. Zeppelins coming from all over, dropping a cannon for the cart titan, soldiers parachuting from the skies. I mean, this is very much in the same vein of how Final Season started, except the one thing they're missing is anti-titan weaponry and titans falling from the sky. I also like the buzz text of Marley bares its teeth. They're out for revenge this time, and these panels set the stage for the epic showdown that's about to come. But without a doubt, the moment I've been waiting for is for Gabi to have her shining moment, to overcome her past and become the Gabi Braun we all know she should become. In an amazing turn of events, Gabi has clarity on what's happened to her and takes the blame for everything she's done to Falco. From getting him involved to start with, him saving her life so many times. I mean, she owns up to it all and wants to be the one with Colt to save Falco. But what's more is when they are able to rescue Falco, Gabi reflects and realizes that there aren't any devils. They're all just people who are trying to find common ground and their own meaning and purpose. She even says it herself. The moment she went on that Zeppelin, she started to repeat everything over and over. It's the cycle of hatred and revenge that brought Gabi to act, but also to her knees. It gave Gabi everything, a purpose, a meaning, a goal to strive towards to achieve such great things at a young age. But it also brought her this despair, robbed her of a personality, a childhood, a chance to be a person, grow into herself more. Gabi finally, after all of this hatred, spilt blood, and pain, realizes that she was wrong. But not only was she wrong, but by extension, the people who fed her those lies, the indoctrination of Marley. Gabi woke up to reality, but it sadly cost her her innocence by murdering Lobov, Sasha, and Frank. And I honestly forgot his name, but EA told me his name was Frank, so his name is Frank now. It's canon. Don't tweet me about it. It's wrong. It's Frank. You're wrong. And again, it cost her friendship with Kaya, the person who only wanted to help her, even though they were the enemy. But now it likely cost her the one person that matters to her the most, Falco. But my man, Falco. This guy brings up something I didn't even realize until he said he feels bad for sending that letter that rests heavy on his young shoulders. This was awesome because it makes you realize how quiet and passive of a character Falco really is in the moment. In turn, this backs up a lot of how Gabi feels, as Falco not having much of a say and trailing along to save her was a core issue of Gabi's character. And to further show Falco's development, he confesses his love to Gabi in a very sweet and genuine scene. As we've talked about plenty of times, AOT isn't kind to relationships and the idea of love. Love dies in the most miserable of ways in AOT, but hey, it isn't stopping Falco. He's dreaming big at the age of 12 by outright telling Gabi he wants to make her his wife. I mean, I respect it, honestly. The plan on this guy is just commendable. And you know what? I hope she says yes. And while we've yet to see how these two will turn out in a romantic sense, my theory is that all will end well with Gabi and Falco. My reason for thinking this is simply because of the turnout for every other relationship with AOT. Someone always dies, or they both get brutally murdered. I mean, for Christ's sake, Eren told Mikasa he hated her. Even if there wasn't some sort of shit between them, that's still harsh and cold, because at the very least, they're like brother and sister. So, with Gabi breaking the cycle of revenge, maybe Gabi and Falco together can break the cycle of no dating, and together, their ship name will be known as Fabi, or like Gabco, which sounds like an auto parts shop or something. One small but powerful thing I want to mention is when Gabi rips off the cloth around Falco's arm that symbolizes that he's been contaminated. At first, I was sort of confused what this meant, but after reading these chapters 10 times each, not kidding, I freaking love these chapters, it reminded me of when Falco ripped off Gabi's armband, symbolizing she's an honorary Marleyan. This to me symbolizes that Gabi is returning the favor Falco did for her. That she will this time be the one to protect Falco and rescue him from his dark fate. It's such a beautiful moment, and you don't need anything more than that gesture to realize that Gabi loves Falco just as much as Falco loves Gabi. Man, just thinking about that kind of thing, it brings me to tears because, you know, I've loved to see Gabi and Falco since they started their development, and to see their story play out in the way it has up until now it's truly special. But we shall see what happens. Their goal now is to let Zeke know that he shouldn't scream, which if he doesn't, you'd know that it would put him at a disadvantage in battle to some extent. Though, judging by the final moments of this chapter, it seems Zeke's screaming is only inevitable. But something a little bit brighter, I suppose. We have to discuss the awesomeness that is Eren, Reiner, Porco, and Pieck, and what they are able to achieve with these chapters. Instead of obeying Yelena's wishes of escaping using the power of the Warhammer Titan, he instead goes right into battle. And so begins the epic showdown between Eren and Reiner that couldn't have been any better. I mean, it's pretty much like everything I wanted. It's a pretty hard-hitting affair, but as Porco starts to get involved, Eren uses the Warhammer Titan's ability to make spikes that protrude out from the ground. But Porco dodges him, and with some amazing dialogue tells Eren he'll make him pay for using him as a Nutcracker to kill the Warhammer Titan. So we are going to refer to Porco's Titan as the Nutcracker Titan, because I think it only makes sense. Then Eren uses his abilities again to create spikes coming from the ground and impales both Reiner and Porco. But Pieck comes in clutch when she and Magath snipe Eren through the head with a Cart Titan's gun. Oh, it's so cool! As a side note to the main battle, Pieck had some cool moments in these chapters, and her involvement in this battle is so epic and adds that unpredictability you need in moments like these. As well as seeing the Jaegerists fight against the Marleyan army as the Zeppelins are laying down fire from above is some epic shit. Back to the fight though, I love Reiner's dialogue telling Eren that he's already lost and to just sleep. I can't be the only one loving this, right? But it only gets better. The craziest shit happens, and Zeke shows up. The boy Wonder, the Wonder Boy. This may be some mistranslation, I'm not sure. The beginning of 118 picks up from that moment, and we see this amazing shot of Yelena doing the Christ pose that guy from the Creed music video used to do. And I mean, it's great. There's Zeppelins burning as Eren makes his way towards Zeke. I mean, awesome imagery. And this is where an unlikely event occurs, and one I'd like to get your opinions on in the comments below. Onyankanpon frees what's left of the Survey Corps from their cell to help Eren so that Marley doesn't get their hands on the Founding Titan. So this is where I ask you guys in the comments, what side, as we know it right now, would be the better of the two? Jaegerists or Marley? To me, both are abhorrent, and their goals and their end goals are essentially just at the end of the day to kill all Eldians in one way or another. The reason I ask this is because what happens in the next part of these panels. Onyankanpon admits to not knowing about any of Yelena's plans. I believe in the goals of the volunteers were to set people free for the children of the future, not to needlessly euthanize and kill others like this. But the reason he went with Yelena and betrayed him was because if anyone went against Yelena's orders, then that would mean she would kill them. Not a very nice person, Yelena. So there it is, I suppose. Onyankanpon is one of the good ones, which is always nice to see someone with a level head on their shoulders. But what he says next is very hopeful that together they'll stop Zeke and Eren's plans. They just have to stop Marley first, as without those two on their side, they have lost. So the end goal of this is to start the rumbling, at least once. So Armin asks Mikasa if she wants to help Eren, to which she does want to, but believes that because of the Ackerman genetics, she would only want to do it to protect him. But surprisingly, Armin thinks Eren told Mikasa this because of a lie. Armin believes that he was forced to take the help of Yelena and Zeke because without Zeke, Eren wouldn't have a chance to act out his true plan, whatever that may be, to save everyone. So because of that, he's gone along with Yelena and Zeke's plans, executing these horrible murders and crimes against humanity, all to fool them into believing that he's on their side. But at the end of the day, Eren has final say in how to use the power of the Founding Titan, and thus at the end of the day, will make the right choice for everyone, and one that lines up with his original goal of getting rid of the Titans. This also makes sense why Eren wouldn't tell Zeke his true plan, because Zeke's plan is rooted behind deep racism for the Eldian people, and likely Eren's is something that Zeke wouldn't agree with. As well, if he denied Yelena's offer, we've already seen that she killed agrees without a second guess, and Onyankanpon doesn't paint a pretty picture for the 6'7" crazy girl. A couple side notes. One I particularly liked is Mikasa taking off the scarf that Eren gave to her when they were children. She's been wearing it pretty much ever since the first episode or the first chapter, and her taking this off symbolizes so many things. My theory is that she took it off to represent how she's not doing this for Eren anymore, but for her own personal reasons. Even though what Eren said could have been a lie, she's not going to do this as some sort of debt that she has been paying off for far too long. Her leaving behind the scarf could also be taken to mean she's leaving behind Eren and those memories. Mikasa was defined and shaped by Eren much in the same way Armin is, and it was Eren who led them to act and be better people, always willing them on. So now it's time for them both to do something without the lead from Eren. As well, Yelena is a crazy person. Starting out, I really dug Yelena. She was composed, cool, and had that mysterious aura about her that was just sort of infectious. But now as her true colors are starting to be revealed, she's kind of the opposite of how she presents herself. She's an actual crazy person who really is just a mega simp for Zeke. Like seriously, who's a bigger simp than Yelena here? Overall, these chapters were just so good. I read these at least 10 times each just because I wanted to. I think the most notable moments were Gabi and Falco's development, specifically Falco's confession and Gabi ripping off Falco's makeshift armband. That's just some beautiful stuff that you can't deny. Ah, man, it's just so great. Of course, we had some Pieck and Porco goodness as well, but the biggest thing for me was the hope that Eren actually isn't doing this because he's just an evil scumbag who's hating on Mikasa because she says his name too damn much. Although it would certainly be a twist, as some would say. So, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to never miss an AOT video or community tab post. Check my merch rack in the description below for my merch, and check out my Patreon page where I'm releasing monthly anime reviews exclusively for patrons on the $1 tier and up. You really don't want to miss out on that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week with another AOT video. Bye-bye!